Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here and welcome to Jambareeqi Orange, the show where I let my patrons decide what I review. The options for this episode's poll included Pokemon Heroes, The Swan Princess 3, Hotel Transylvania 4, The Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild, Venom Let There Be Carnage, and Ghostbusters Afterlife. They chose the Ice Age Adventures of Buck Wild. Crash and Eddie have a habit of doing reckless things, which really annoys their herd. However, their sister Ellie insists that they should stay in the family because they lack independence. So Crash and Eddie leave their herd behind to prove themselves, fall into the Lost World, and meet Buck Wild again. Unfortunately, a big brain villain called Orson is on the rise, so the possums, Buck, and Buck's ex-superhero partner Z join forces to stop this evil dinosaur. Now, a Buck Wild spin-off was in the works at Blue Sky Studios starting in 2018, but once Disney shut Blue Sky down in 2021, the House of Mouse continued the project themselves, and released it on Disney Plus this year. What we got was a downright insult to Blue Sky's legacy. Heck, I'm going to say it. This is the worst Ice Age movie ever made. Yes, I think it's worse than Collision Course. Despite being a Disney Plus exclusive, there's nothing special or eventful about this movie. If anything, it reminds me a lot of one of the more disposable Land Before Time straight-to-video sequels. The film is about your typical manipulative villain trying to gain power and oppress those he doesn't like, all while the protagonist learn lessons about teamwork and courage, which is an okay template for a children's movie because it's been the basis for many classics. But this film doesn't build on that formula, it just does the bare minimum with the template. I do think there was some potential for Orson as a villain, an intellectual dinosaur who wants to keep the Lost World clean from mammals, but the movie does naffle interesting with him. He just chases after our heroes with an army of raptors and monologues about how great he is. That's it.
The joke's on you. My brain, the thing that everyone ridiculed, is the one thing that's gonna get me my revenge.
Even though the film is named after Buck, it's not really his movie. It's Crash and Eddie's, the most annoying characters in this franchise, who work best as comic relief sidekicks rather than leading heroes. Crash and Eddie's whole shtick is being as immature as possible and never taking anything seriously. While they do learn to be braver characters as the film goes on, they never really mature or prove that they'll be less reckless from now on. Meanwhile, Buck himself does get some decent screen time, but the film isn't really about him. He's left to do his usual crazy wild man routine.
You remember my daughter?
Bronwyn! She's gotten so big and round and big.
These are your Uncle Possums.
The film teases a backstory for Buck with the whole superhero squad history, but we learn nothing about them beyond tiny flashbacks. Yes, we get to see him reunite with his former fellow superhero Z, but they both spend the whole movie bickering. They argue so much that I didn't see why they were ever friends in the first place.
You're irresponsible, thick-headed.
You're demanding,
I'm
and you're
tired
always being
of you
mean to me.
always
Back
leaving
when
before
Orson
you
set that
look,
trap for me,
recklessly
seeing I
hurling us
survived,
into
but the
trouble.
rest of the team
We
didn't.
needed to have a strategy.
Your way didn't work.
It doesn't help that Z is just a stock action heroine who only exists in the film to babysit the man-child characters.
We're immune to snake venom.
Yeah, but I'm not. It would kill me.
It would make me break out. And then kill me.
Our bad. Sorry, Jaja.
Don't get me started on the animation. First thing you'll notice is how really cheap it looks. The texturing is poor quality, the colours are murky, and every character is wooden. There's a restraint in the characters' emotions that makes more sentimental scenes hollow.
Look, it wasn't you. It wasn't me. It was us.
And the comedic bits awkward.
Shh.
Oh, and when we get to a fight scene, the lackluster animation is even more exposed, because the action is so sloppy and half-hearted.
Time to get a little less mammoth and a little more possum.
Say what you will about Blue Sky's Ice Age sequels, but at least you could see that Blue Sky was evolving their technology with every movie. Yeah, Collision Course had a rubbish script, but dang did it look pretty. Show off the studio software, and have lots of dynamic animation.
Wait, this half a snack is a dinosaur whisperer?
And expert salsa dancer.
Most of the voice actors have been replaced for this spin-off as well, with only Simon Pegg coming back as the voice of Buck Wild. To be fair, these replacement voice actors do okay impressions, and I'm down for giving lesser-known voice actors work, but long-time fans will be able to tell that something is off right away.
Hey, Uber Tracker, you picked up that scent yet?
Aside from you, nothing smells bad. So, no.
Manny, they're out there all alone in the cold. They're probably frightened.
Don't worry, we'll find them. Because If we don't find them, I'm gonna kill them.
It reminds me of that scene in Thor Ragnarok, in which the Asgard Kingdom is putting on a play about Loki's life, and different actors are playing characters made iconic by other stars.
I'm sorry, I tried to rule Earth. They'd be lucky to have you. I'm sorry about that thing with the Tesseract. I just couldn't help myself.
The only thing I liked about this movie was that it didn't make Z into Buck's love interest. The opportunity was there, but the film didn't fall to the temptation. Instead, they remained just friends, showing that not every animated family film needs a forced romance between the male and female leads.
This is Z. She's a very dear friend.
It's nice to meet you, Z.
To conclude, this 6th Ice Age installment is the most pointless entry yet. It's so bad that it makes me regret being harsh to Blue Sky's Ice Age sequels. Sure, it'll keep kids occupied for 90 minutes, and I can imagine Crash and Eddie's silly antics making children laugh. But that's all the Adventures of Buck Wild really is. Cheap streaming content starring recognizable characters to keep kids watching Disney+. There's no love for Ice Age here, just an excuse for Disney to milk Blue Sky's most popular film franchise after firing them. So how could have this movie been improved? Well, it shouldn't have been about Crash and Eddie. Buck Wild should have been the star, and the film could have used its adventure story to deeper explore Buck's character, from his relationship with his superhero squad to how the Lost World transformed him into the Weasel we know, therefore living up to the movie's title. What did you think of this movie? Let everyone know in the comment section below, and don't forget to click that like button. What am I going to be reviewing in the next episode of this show? Well, that's entirely up to my patrons. The options for the next episode's poll include The Chipmunk Adventure, Monkey Bone, Turning Red, Spider-Man No Way Home, Nightmare Alley, and Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. Don't forget you have to be a patron in order to access this poll. What's a patron? Don't worry, let me explain.
This is my Patreon. It's a site for my fans to support me financially on through a monthly basis. Those who donate are called patrons. Patrons can donate as much as they want and are welcome to stop donating anytime. In return for their generosity, patrons are given exciting rewards based on their pledge amount. These rewards include early access to my videos before they go up publicly on YouTube, behind the scenes content, their name in the end credits of my videos, a chance to request a review of anything at all, and much more.
I'm very excited to find out what my patrons want me to review next on the show. Cheerio, folks.